Hello, my dear future nursing officers. Welcome you all to the Master Nursing classes. In the last session of the magic session, we have discussed the very important questions in the form of the multiple choice questions. So, in this today's session, also we are going to discuss the very important questions and the concept that may having the highest chance of reflecting on your computers in your mains and prelims exams. So, my word and my thing is very clear from my side, that is to give the high yield content and the very important content for the rapid revision of the students. And I want your complete effort and dedication towards the content. Okay, only watching the class won't going to help you people. So you have to revise the class immediately after completion of the class, and you have to note the thing wherever I am telling important, and at least revise that thing particularly at least 2 times or 3 times. Okay. So in the today's session, only the important questions, only the important concept I am going to discuss with people, and very important updates on the national immunization schedule, on the rotavirus, and the new open vial policy rules, and what all of the vaccines we have involved in the new open vial policy. So that one thing I will explain in this particular session. Okay. So without wasting the time, we will start the today's session. So that is with this powerful motivational line, we will start the session. That is the students, success is not comes to everyone. Why? Because everyone will not work hard, and everyone will not stay disciplined, and everyone will not have the that much of the patience. So where the success will meets us, right? So if you are working hard and you are stay disciplined for your preparation, and you are having the patience, means yes, definitely success will be yours, right? So don't worry, your time also will come. Just focused on your thing, okay, and keeps on revising, right? ಸೊ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಯತ್ತು, ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಮತ್ತು ಗುರುವಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲಿನ್, ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ವರ್ಕ್, and a very important patience. Okay, so yes, good evening to one and all who have joined to the session, and who all are live to the session. So fatafat hit the like button. Okay, while entering to a session only, you have to hit the like button and come to the live chat. Okay, so that's the very important thing, right? It boosts me, and it will increase my motivation to explain more thing. Okay, so yes, hit the like button. And if anyone of you are watching the master nursing classes first time, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button, so it will get notification to you people whenever I will post some very important updates on the YouTube channel. And if anyone of are still not a part of our most trusted and genuine WhatsApp channel of the nursing field, that is the Master Nursing Classes WhatsApp channel, the link is I have given in the description box, where I am posting all the updates related to the exams, and along with that all the updates related to the subjects. Okay, so that is the updates from the community health nursing, pharmacology, wherever the new drugs and FDA approved new drugs, and all the important things which is required for your exams, I am posting in the WhatsApp channel. So that is the free of cost, everyone can join. Okay, the link is there in the description box, right? So a very good evening to one and all. So almost all you people have joined the session. I am starting the session. Okay, so here comes the first question in front of you. Okay, so please do read the question carefully, completely, and try to give the best response in the comment box. Yes, a 70 kg adult has the 40% of the total body surface area burned. Using the Parkland formula, how much fluid is required in the first 8 hours? So first of all, I want to clear to you people, almost 99% of you are in the confusion that where to use the modified Parkland formula and where to use the Parkland formula, and in the Norcet 9 which formula we need to use to get calculate and give the answer. First thing I will clear to you people, use the basic Parkland formula only. Use the basic Parkland formula only. If in case he mentioned, means the examiner mentioned modified Parkland formula, then you use the new formula. Otherwise, if he mentioned just a Parkland formula, don't go for the new formula. Use the 4 ml formula only and calculate the thing and give the answer, right? Yes, here comes to the question. Okay, so what happened in this particular question? The 70 kg adult is there. Okay, so what is the body weight? Total body weight of the patient is the 70 kg we have. Okay, and the total body surface area burned is the 40%. Okay, total body surface area burned is the 40%. How we have to calculate that one? By using the rule of 9. Okay, So then using the Parkland formula, how much fluid we need to give in a first 8 hours. Okay, this is the very important thing you have to focus here. Beta, in a question, you have to focus that whether the question he is asking for the first 24 hours or for the first 8 hours, because the answer will change here, right? Sir, what to do and how to calculate? So let me explain the thing very clearly and very easily. Okay, so here will be a Parkland formula. Okay, this is our standard Parkland formula. 4 ml of the ringer lactate, but a fluid of choice. Fluid of choice for the burn patient is the burns patient is the ringer lactate. Please do remember, right? Then the body weight area, body weight in a kg, and the total body surface area which is burned. This is the our basic Parkland formula what we have. Okay, same thing, just I have filled here. Okay, so 4 is the default. We have kept the 4 here, and the total body weight of the patient in the given question was the 70 kg. Okay, 70 kg is the weight is there, so same 70 kg I have kept here. Then 40% is the total body surface area burned, and same 40% is total body surface area which was burned I have kept here, and the calculation which comes here to like this. Okay, so for 270, 27, 28, and 0 comes 0, and the 40 remains same, and totally 11,200 will be the for the first 24 hours. For the first 24 hours. And now you people directly go for the answers. You people will choose option C as a correct answer, but it is actually wrong. Why? Because the whatever the calculation which came here, which is for the first 24 hours, but in the question he asked for the first 8 hours. So 50% of the students will do mistake here, right? So as a student of the master nursing classes, you don't do this mistake, because I am explaining the what mistake you will do before the exams only, and I am making to correct you people here. So please try to understand. If they are asking for the first 8 hours, then we have to divide this one. Okay, so whatever the fluid which come for the first 24 hours, okay, so that one in question they have asked for 8 hours. Okay, first 8 hours. So the fluid which is there, total fluid, we will divide into the 2 portion, and half of the fluid we will give in the first 8 hours, and remaining half of the fluid we will give in the next 16 hours. Okay, so next 16 hours 5,600 ml we will give, and first 8 hours 5,600 ml we will give, and in the 24 hours we will give the 11,200 ml of the fluid. Okay, so this is the very important. In the question, if the examiner asking for the first 24 hours, our answer will be C, but he is asking for the first 8 hours, so our correct answer goes to the 5,600 ml, and almost all you people given the correct answer. So that is the reason I am very proud of you. Okay, so hope it is clear to every one of you, right? So here comes to the next question. Yes, today you people will experience all the practical based and the very important question which is related and which is completely correlated to the clinical setting, because in the prelims examiner wants to assess your skill, okay, how you can interpret the thing. So the question is here in front of you all, so please stay focused on the interpreting the particular things, okay, because it is very easy to interpret, and I am here to explain how to grasp the thing and how to choose the correct answer. You don't have to worry about it. Yes, so here comes to the first question. A patient presents with the Glasgow Coma scale 6. Beta, the GCS is only 6 here, so the normal GCS level, if the patient is having the 15 out of 15, means it is the fully perfect mental function, and there is no any impairment in the level of the consciousness. Okay, so if it is 13 to 15, the mild impairment in mild changes is there in the level of consciousness. If it is 9 to 13, means there is moderate changes in the level of consciousness. If it is less than 8, so there is a severe damage to the brain, or there is a severe deficiency of the level of consciousness. The patient landed into the coma. So here the GCS is 6, means GCS is below the 8. Below the 8 means a patient is in a state of a severe head injury, or the patient is in a state of the coma. Very important. And the blood pressure of the patient is 180 by 60 mm of Hg. Beta, the normal BP is the 120 by 80 mm of Hg. Okay, this is a normal clinically used blood pressure, right? So this is the normal clinically used blood pressure. Here, look at the diastolic blood pressure, it is decreased. Look at the systolic blood pressure, it is increased. Okay, so here the patient is having the systolic hypertension. Okay, so what happened to the pulse pressure here? What happened to the pulse pressure? If the systolic BP is increased, diastolic BP is decreased. So what happens to the pulse pressure? What is the pulse pressure, beta? Yes, what is the pulse pressure? Pulse pressure is the very important. That's the systolic blood pressure minus diastolic blood pressure is the pulse pressure. Okay, so normally look at this one. Normal BP is 120 by 80. So systolic is 120 and diastolic is 80. So normal pulse pressure is the 40 mm of Hg is the normal pulse pressure. But in this particular situation, so systolic BP is the 180 minus diastolic BP is the 60. So our pulse pressure which is coming here is the 120 mm of Hg. It is almost triple of the our normal pulse pressure. So this is what we call as the widened pulse pressure. Okay, what we call this one? We call this one as the widened pulse pressure. Very important. This pulse pressure, pulse deficit are the very repeatedly asked questions in your exams. Okay, so don't forget this one, right? So here what happened? Systolic hypertension is there, along with that widened pulse pressure is there. Okay, so then comes to the heart rate in the question. Okay, heart rate in the question is the 42 beats per minute. So normally it is above the 60. A standard pulse rate in the adults is the 72 beats per minute. Okay, so here it is 42 means the patient is having the bradycardia and a Chinese Stokes breathing or the irregular respiration is there. Okay, so here the systolic hypertension and bradycardia and irregular respiration. What it indicates is almost all you people given the correct answer. That is it is a case of the Cushing triad. Okay, so how many evidence we got here? First, the patient having the head injury because of the severe deficiency in the Glasgow Coma Scale, where we have assessed the level of consciousness. Patient is in a state of the coma, and along with that we have the support of the Cushing triad. Okay, so Cushing triad is the late sign. It is in the late sign of the head injury. Okay, it is in the late sign of the head injury. Very important. Please keep in your mind. Okay, it's not early sign of the head injury, right? So hope it is clear to everyone of you. So now comes to the discussion point of the our Cushing triad. In the Cushing triad, we got the bradycardia, okay, and the irregular respiration. Along with that, the hypertension. Okay, which hypertension? That is the systolic hypertension. Increased in the SBP with the widened pulse pressure will be there. So this is our Cushing triad, okay, which will be seen in a case of the head injury. Okay, it is the Cushing triad. Okay, it will be seen in case of the head injury. Very important. Please do remember, right? So hope it is clear to everyone of you. Next comes to the second option. So that is the like the first option, that is the triad of the death. So this is our last Norcet question, the triad of the death. Norcet 8 question beta. Okay, so here we have the ball. Okay, remember the ball. Bleeding will be there. Okay, so sorry, abnormal blood clotting will be there. B is the blood clotting and A is the acid blood. So there is the metabolic acidosis will be there, and the L is the low body temperature. So that is the hypothermia will be there. Okay, so how to remember the ball? Triad of death by the mnemonic call is the ball. Okay, so there is a blood clot abnormally activated, and there is in the coagulopathy will be there. Okay, so coagulopathy or the blood clot activation, coagulopathy, and the metabolic acidosis, and the L is the low body temperature or the our hypothermia we can say. So please do remember, very important trauma triad of the death. Okay, so this is our very important. Okay, so don't forget this one. Next comes to the second, the last option, that is the Beck's triad in the cardiac tamponade. Okay, so where it happens, the Beck's triad happens in the cardiac tamponade. In the cardiac tamponade, we have the distinct heart sound, or we can say the muffled heart sound. Okay, we can say this one is in the muffled heart sound. So why muffled heart sound will be there? Beta, this is our beautiful heart. Okay, so surround of the heart we have a very important layer, that is the pericardium layer. Okay, in the pericardium layer there is sudden abnormal accumulation of the more than 250 ml fluid, more than 250 ml of the fluid suddenly accumulating. So it creating the pressure on the heart. Okay, so that is the what we call as in the cardiac tamponade. Okay, so it is creating pressure on the heart, and heart is not filling properly. Okay, so heart is not filling properly means blood in the our left ventricle will be low. Okay, so low blood in the left ventricle, and heart not relaxing properly means not taking the blood means there will be a very important hypotension will be there. Okay, so very importantly we have the decreased blood pressure due to the increased pressure on the heart. Okay, and heart is not receiving the blood also. Why? Because it is having the pressure on this one. Okay, so from the upper part of the body, so the jugular vein which will carries the blood back to the our heart. Okay, so here heart is having the constriction, heart is having the pressure, so the vein is not properly emptying into the heart. Okay, so it's not emptying into the heart means the vein which is be filled with the blood. Okay, vein which is filled with the blood means we call that one as in the distended, means a large jugular vein or the distended jugular vein. Okay, so that is the distended jugular vein will be there. Okay, very important. And around of the heart, so there is an accumulation of the fluid will be there. Okay, so the heart sound, the lab dub it will comes. Okay, it is not clearly comes because around of the heart there is an accumulation of the fluid will be there. So that time we will hear the muffled heart sound. Okay, muffled heart sound will be there in the cardiac tamponade, and the distended jugular vein or the raised JVP will be there in the very important cardiac tamponade. Along with that, there is in the decreased blood pressure will be there. Okay, so hope it is clear, right? So here the decreased blood pressure will be there. Blood pressure is decreased means which BP will be specially decreases here. The SBP will be specially decreases because left ventricle function is the indication of the SBP. Peripheral vascular resistance is the indication of the DBP. Okay, peripherally vessels are completely dilated means that time what happens, the diastolic blood pressure will decreases. Left ventricle is not properly functioning means, so that is the SBP is decreases. Okay, so here the SBP decreases mainly. Okay, and the DBP remains normal. Consider SBP is now normally I told 120. Okay, now it is 90. Okay, so 90 and the diastolic BP remains the same as a 80. Okay, so when you will assess the pulse pressure, okay, so that is the SBP minus diastolic blood pressure. Okay, so 90 by 80. Okay, here it comes to the 10 mm of Hg. Okay, but I told the normal pulse pressure will be at least more than 40 mm of Hg. Okay, so here it is coming the less than 10 mm of Hg, so we call this one as a narrow pulse pressure. Okay, so in the Cushing triad, what we are getting in the head injury, in the Cushing triad we are getting the widened pulse pressure, and in the cardiac tamponade we are getting the narrow pulse pressure. Okay, narrow pulse pressure. So don't forget this concept. Okay, because you will get the question like to match the following thing. To match the following thing. Okay, so in the match the following thing, one side you will get the narrow pulse pressure, wide pulse pressure. Okay, then the pulse deficit and the any one thing. Okay, so one side you will get the head injury, then cardiac tamponade, and in the coarctation of the aorta, and many things. Okay, so in the coarctation of the aorta we will get the pulse deficit. Okay, so what is the pulse deficit? Yes, the difference between the me and you, right? Is that correct, beta? Difference between the me and you? No, beta, it is the difference between the apical pulse and the radial pulse. Okay, or we can say it is the difference between the central pulse and peripheral pulse, right? So that is what we call as the pulse deficit. Okay, so that will be seen mainly in the case of the coarctation of the aorta. Okay, so yes, like this you will get the questions, match the following, assertion and reason based questions. Many things we are giving for the practice in your test series. Okay, so don't forget to practice the test series of the Norcet 9, which is under the Super 60 test series. Beta, we are giving everything free of cost to you people for your success. Take utilization of that. Lots of effort is there behind every questions what we are creating for you people. Okay, don't take it light. Okay, so practice the thing because it will comes in the exams, like match the following, assertion and reason based questions, and the method of elimination questions, accept questions, not acceptable questions, most common cause questions, like this everything we have integrated which is required for your success. Okay, so yes, so that is also free of cost we are giving. Hope it is clear. The three triads we have seen, the mainly very important Cushing triad in the head injury. Along with the Cushing triad we have seen the what happens to the pulse pressure in the head injury, there is the widened pulse pressure. Okay, along with that we have seen the cardiac tamponade. In the cardiac tamponade what happens? Yes, the cardiac tamponade, very importantly, pulse pressure will be narrow. Okay, so then along with that we have studied the triad of the death. Okay, so that is the ball. Okay, so blood clot will activate and coagulopathy will happens, and the low body temperature hypothermia will happens, and the very important acidosis, that is the metabolic acidosis will happens. Okay, so triad of that we have finished the very important thing which is required for your exams. Here comes to the next question. Consider beta, this Norcet there is highest chance of the asking the two questions. One is from the Glasgow Coma scale question. Okay, so directly they can ask the calculate the GCS questions. Along with that, very important, Glasgow Coma scale minus P. These two questions. there is having the highest chance. Okay, so and there is a chance of asking the question from the AVPU score also. There is dedicated video on the GCS and AVPU and where to use and how to use on the Master Nursing Classes YouTube channel. Only 15 minutes class is there, so if you can want, you can, if you want, you can watch. Okay, I have thought the thing with the clear mnemonics also. Okay, here also I have teach you people with the clear mnemonic. Okay, so but the differentiation you want between the GCS and AVP means go there and watch once. Okay, because this is a rapid revision session, I don't tell all the unnecessary things, just I will tell which is necessary for your exams. Okay, so here comes to the question. A 25-year-old male was found unconscious after a motorcycle accident. Okay, what happened to the male patient here? So he is landed into the motorcycle accident and he opens his eyes only when spoken to him. Okay, so then he speak inappropriate words and he is withdrawing to the pain. So what is the GCS score here? Better. So in the GCS score, we will monitor the very important three things. Okay, so that is the first thing what we have to monitor here is the, so that is the eye response, then the verbal response, then the motor response. Okay, so what are the components we will monitor in the GCS? So that is the EVM. Okay, so that is the eye response, verbal response, and motor response. Right. So each verbal response, the maximum best response goes to the maximum marks of the 4, and the each eye response like least response goes to the 1. Then a motor response, best response goes to verbal response, best response goes to the 5 marks, and the least response goes to the very important 1 marks, right? And the best motor response goes to the 6 marks, and the least motor response goes to the 1 marks. If someone is asking the maximum total score of the GCS, how much is the maximum total score of the GCS? Yes, 6 plus 4 is 10, 10 plus 5 is 15. Okay, so maximum GCS score is the 15. Okay, so what is the maximum GCS score? That is the 15, right? So here comes to the minimum GCS score. Yes, option is 0, option B 2, option 3 3, option 4 4. So what is the minimum GCS score? Yes, answer is also in front of you only. Minimum GCS score is the 3 goes to the correct answer. Okay, so minimum GCS score is just a minute, please. Like minimal error is there here. Please wait and stay connected. So I'm coming back. Yes. Okay. So hope it is clear now, right? So the screen is clear to every one of you. Right? So the minimum score what we have here is the 3, right? So very important. Please do remember, a 24-year-old male was found unconscious, and I told the minimum score and maximum score here. Hope it is clear. Maximum is the 15 and the minimum is the 3 we have in the GCS score, and the best maximum eye response is the 4. Best maximum verbal response is the 5. Best maximum motor response is the 6. So these questions may directly strike in your exam in the prelims, not in the mains. And what questions comes in the mains, that one also I will tell to you people. Okay. And here is the GCSP. Okay. So minimum is the 1 marks, and for the not GCSP. That is our eye response. Okay, minimum is the 1 marks we have, and verbal is the 1 marks we have minimum, and the motor is the minimum 1 marks we have. Okay, so now comes to the interpretation of the GCS. Okay, so how to remember this one, sir? Here is the mnemonic is there, just fast and quick, you can remember very easily. Okay, so the mnemonic is like this: eye response. Okay, ESPN is the one Hindi channel. You have seen the Hindi sports channel, that is the ESPN. Okay, in the ESPN Hindi sports channel. Okay, eye is the opening spontaneously. Eyes, E stands eyes open spontaneously. Maximum marks I will give the 4. And I is opening to the speech. So maximum marks I will give the 3. Then the eye is opening to the pain, that is the 2 marks. Eye is not responding, that is the 1 marks. Okay, so maximum eye response 4 marks, minimum eye response is the 1 marks. Okay, in our question what happened, he is opening the eyes for the speech. Okay, so he is only opens the eyes when we will spoke to the patient. Okay, so how much marks I will give here? So I will give them 3 marks to the patient. Okay, so then comes to the verbal response. In the verbal response, what he is mentioning, he is speaking the inappropriate words. Okay, here comes to the mnemonic for the verbal response, that is the our country win. Okay, so that is the oriented patient, I will give the 5 marks, and the confused patient I will give the 4 marks, and the inappropriate words is coming means I will give the 3 marks, and incomprehensible sound is coming means I will give the 2 marks, and there is no any verbal response means 1 marks. Okay, so here in our patient it is showing the inappropriate words. Okay, inappropriate word the patient is showing means I will give the a very important 3 marks. Okay, so then comes to the motor response. In the motor response, the patient is withdrawing to the pain. Okay, so that is I will give the 4 marks, right? So 3 plus 3 plus 4, how much it happens? Yes, that is the 3 plus 3 plus 4. Okay, why? Because he is opening the eyes to the spoken words. Okay, that is the 3 marks, and the inappropriate words verbal response 3 marks, and withdraws to pain motor response 4 marks, right? So here the 3 plus 3 plus 4 is the 10 marks. Okay, here comes to the GCS score of the very important 10 marks. Okay, so hope it is clear to everyone of you. This is the question from the GCS simple calculation. But one more question it will come. Before that one, I will clear the motor responses also. Here the C stands here is the patient is obeying the command, L stands here is the localizing the pain, W stands here is the withdraws from the pain, and F stands here is the abnormal flexion. Okay, so then the A stands here is the abnormal extension, and N stands here is the no response. Better if the patient is abnormally flexing means there is the decorticate. Okay, see. Okay, so make a round like this. Okay, corticate means the patient is flexing. Okay, make a round like this. Okay, make a round like this, and remember abnormal flexion. Okay, patient is flexing the thing and making the round. That is the round is the decorticate. Okay, so then comes to the E, decerebrate. E means abnormal extension is the decerebrate. So you keep for the remembering purpose I am telling you, because you people will get confused in the questions if the question comes as in the decorticate and cerebrate in the questions. Okay, so that is don't get confused. Hope it is clear to everyone of you. Okay, then the interpretation already I have told you people, the score is coming of the 13 to 15 there is a mild brain injury will be there, and the 9 to 12 there is the moderate brain injury will be there, and less than 8 is the severe brain injury will be there, and the patient is in the coma. And if the patient GCS coming is less than 8 means, so we can start the patient on the mechanical ventilator. Okay, ventilator support is required. It is the indicator of the mechanical ventilator we need to start here to the patient. Okay, very important, please do remember. Okay, what is the cutoff score of the starting the mechanical ventilator by the GCS means, GCS says that the if the patient is going less than 8 means we have to start the mechanical ventilator. So this is the very important thing, just you have to remember here. Okay, so hope it is clear to every one of you. Yes, so here comes to the next question. Yes, so please do read the question carefully, completely, and try to give the best response. A 35-year-old male is brought to the emergency room after a road traffic accident. On examination, the eye opens to the speech. Better, this is the question from the GCS minus P. Okay, quickly we will revise. Just we have seen the entire scenario of the GCS. Okay, just I will quickly revise. Now the eye response we need to see here. That is the eye is opening to the speech. Okay, so then the verbal response is there. That is the patient is confused, and the motor response, the patient is withdrawing to the pain. Then the pupils, one pupil is dilated. Unilateral pupil is the responsive, and one pupil is unresponsive. Okay, so what is the GCS P score of this particular patient? Better, patient eye is opening to only to speech means eye is opening to the spontaneously eye opening means 4 marks I will give. Okay, to the speech it is opening means 3 marks I will give. Okay, to the pain eye is opening means 2 marks I will give. Eye is not at all opening means 1 marks I will give. Okay, if there is the edema is there around surround of the eye, okay, so I will write not accessible, clinically not accessible, because patient is having the edema means he is unable to open the eye. He is opening inside, but we are unable to assess that one. Okay, so we will write that is the not accessible, right? So here the verbal response is the a patient is then confused. Okay, if the patient is obeying the command means, that is we will give the very important, yes, he is obeying the command means, sorry, a patient is completely oriented means I will give the 5 marks, and he is confused means I will give the 4 marks. Okay, so patient is the confused here, so I will give the 4 marks, right? So then comes to the motor response, withdrawing to the pain, again I will give the 4 marks. Okay, so patient is withdrawing to the pain means that is the 4 marks I will give. Okay, so that is the very important. How much marks which is total? So it is the 11 marks in total, right? So along with that, one more evidence they have given, pupil is one side only reactive. Sir, both the pupils are reactive to the light means 0 score. Okay, pupil response is 0 score. If one pupil is opening means I will do the -1. If both the pupils are not responsive, okay, only one is reactive means I will give the -1 score. Both are like not responding, both the pupils are not reactive. Okay, so that is the I will do the -2. Okay, so here GCS score, how much it came in the GCSP Glasgow Coma scale minus P. Okay, so here how much score it came? It came as the GCS as a 11 score, and P is the, yes, I will keep one pupil is reactive means one side is not reactive. Okay, so I will give the -1. Okay, -1 I will do, the 10 goes to the correct answer for this question, right? So don't directly put after calculating the GCS, focus on the question whether they have asked for GCS P or the GCS. Okay, it is very simple to assess and identify and give the answer. Okay, so here comes to the pupil reactive score. Okay, so that is the 0. If both pupils are good, normal and reactive means I will give the 0 score. Means among the Glasgow Coma scale, I will not minus anything. Okay, so I will minus 0. Okay, so if it is coming 11 minus 0 is the 11. Okay, if only one pupil is reactive and another is not reactive means I will do the -1. Okay, I will do the -1. Very important. So it comes to the 10 as answer. If both the pupils are not reactive means, so I will give the -2 here. Okay, -2 I will add the GCS comes to the 9 here. Okay, this is what we call the GCS minus P score. Okay, so very important. I hope it is clear to everyone of you. Okay, so hope it is easy to understand and it is easy to calculate and give the best answer in the exams. Okay, so here comes to the next question. Yes, this is the question from the Apgar score. So fatafat I want to answer. This is the question from the Apgar score. Very important question again. Definitely we will get again the one more question on the Apgar score, that is on the interpretation of the Apgar score, right? A newborn is pink all over. Okay, so full body of the newborn is pink and heart rate is more than 100, so that is the 110 beats per minute is there, and the baby is crying vigorously. Okay, good cry is there. Okay, and has active movement, he is having the best active movements. Okay, and he is sneezing, and when we will suction the patient is sneezing. So what is the expected Apgar score is here? Better comes to the very important rapid revision of the Apgar score. A stands here is in the appearance, P stands here is the pulse, C stands here is the grimace, A stands here is the activity, R stands here is the respiratory efforts, not respiratory rate. Okay, respiratory rate not included. Please do remember, respiratory rate is not included in Apgar score. Okay, so respiratory efforts are included. Okay, respiratory efforts are included. Very important. So please do understand and remember the thing. Okay, so first I will come to the appearance. Okay, in the appearance we will see whether the baby is blue or the pink body, blue extremities, or the completely pink. Okay, if the baby is completely pink means it is normal baby, we will give the 2 points, right? If the baby is center part is the very importantly pink and the peripheral is the blue, so we call that one as the acrocyanosis. Okay, so what we call that one is in the acrocyanosis, right? If the baby is in the state of the acrocyanosis, so we will give the 1 marks. Okay, that is the 1 point. And if the baby is completely blue, so I will give the 0 point, right? I will give the 0 point. Very important. And the next one is the P. P means the pulse rate I am assessing. Okay, so what I am assessing here, I am assessing the pulse rate. Okay, if the pulse is absent, right, so I will give the 0 marks. If the pulse is less than 100, I will give the best 1 point. Okay, if the pulse is more than 100, I will give the 2 best point. Okay, so then comes to the grimace or the reflex or the irritability condition. Okay, so no response, not irritative and not responsive, I will give the 0 marks. And grimace is there and a feeble cry is there, so I will give the 1 point. Cough, sneeze and the pulls away and the activity is good is there, so I will give the 2 points. Okay, so then comes to the activity. Okay, so reflex is good. All the cough reflex is there, sneezing reflex is there. Okay, and the pulling reflex, everything is there. So I will give the 2 points. Okay, so very important. Then comes to the activity. The activity is absent or the limp activity or the like near to absent activity. I will give the 0 point. Some flexion is there of the arm and leg, so I will give the 1 point, and the good active movement is there, I will give the 2 points. Right? Then the respiration. The efforts we will see. What we will see? We will see effort, not rate. Okay, so no respiratory effort, absent breath. Okay, so I will give the 0 point. Right? So then the slow, irregular, and the weak cry is there. I will give the 1 point. Notice the point question like what there is the weak cry will go for the 1 point. Okay, so good cry is there and the strong cry is there. So that is the very importantly 2 points it will go. In our question, what happened? In our question, the baby is pink. Okay, so there is no any sinuses. I will give the 2 marks. Plus, it is having the heart rate of the 110 beats per minute. Means it is more than 100. Again, I will give the 2 marks. Plus, crying vigorously. The good cry is there. Again, 2 marks. Okay, and has the active movement. The good movement is there. Again, 2 marks. Okay, so then the sneeze and suction is there. Means the grimace, the reflexes are good. So again, I will give the 2 marks. Okay, so total how many marks I have given? So total marks I have given here is the 2 plus 2, 4, 4, 6, 6, 8, 10. Okay, total 10 marks I have given here. Okay, so that is the very important. So total marks according to Apgar score we are giving to this patient is the 10 marks we are giving. Okay, so beta, what is the minimum Apgar score? Minimum Apgar score is the 0. Look at this one here. 0. Okay, so blue absent of the pulse and there is no reflex and there is then the near absent activity and the absent of the breathing response means you will give the 0 point, and the maximum we have is the 10. Okay, maximum upward scoring we are having the 10. Beta GCS minimum is the 3, GCS maximum is the 15, Apgar minimum is the 0, Apgar maximum is the 10. Okay, so very important, please do remember. And when we will assess the Apgar score? When we will assess the Apgar score, beta? What do comment your answer? What is the timing to assess the Apgar score? Yes, 1 minute, 5 minutes. Okay, so very good, very important, right? So here comes to the interpretation of the Apgar score. If the score is coming more than 7 or the 7 to 10, so that is the normal baby. Okay, so no resuscitation needed, nothing is needed, routine care is recommended. Okay, so we will give the routine care to the baby. If the GCS is Apgar score is 4 to 6, moderately depressed baby will say. Okay, so we needed some resuscitative efforts like stimulation is required and a complete special monitoring is required. Okay, if the very important score is between the 0 to 3 means the according to Apgar score, the baby is severely depressed, critical condition, the immediate resuscitation is required. So this is the very important for your exam. Okay, so when the immediate resuscitation required according to the Apgar score, yes, if the Apgar score is less than 3, the immediate resuscitation is required. The very important point for your exam. Okay, so it is the very important. So please do remember the concept here. Okay, so I hope the thing is very much clear to you all. And here is the next question. A woman is currently pregnant and she had the 2 previous pregnancies and the 1 full term, that is the baby is alive, and 1 miscarriage is there at the 8 weeks. So what is the GT-PAL? Fix one question, it will be come in your exam on the expected date of delivery calculation and the GT-PAL calculation, drug calculation, and otherwise the calculation from the GCS or from the calculation from the Apgar score. Okay, so all the calculated portions are nearly about 4 to 6 questions we are going to fix, including the prelims and mains in this particular session. Okay, so please do read the question carefully, then try to get the best answer for this particular question. But how to initially start the calculation of the GT-PAL? So first we have to write there is the G. G is the gravida. Gravida means number of time the woman is pregnant. Okay, that is what you call the G. G is the gravida. How many times she is pregnant? Okay, so then I will write the T here. T means how many times she have given the term birth. Okay, so out she is given the total 6 birth you consider. Among those, how many term deliveries are happened? Okay, how many babies have born after 37 week of the delivery, means the baby born in the term period. Okay, so that is the T. T means the term birth. Okay, so P, what is the P? P means the preterm birth. Okay, what is the P? P means the preterm birth. Okay, right? So then comes to the next one, there is the Yes, the next time which is next term which is coming here is the that is our A, and the A means the number of time abortion happened. L is the how many babies are living. Okay, so like six birth she have given, and among those two have been died, and only four is remaining. So remaining four are the living. Okay, so L is the living child. Okay, so beta in the gravida we will consider the current pregnancy also. Okay, if she is woman is currently pregnant, that one also we will consider. But this all together we will call as the parity. This all together we will call as the parity. What is parity? Parity is the yes number of time the woman given the birth to the babies, means she is pregnant, she went to the labor room and the delivery have been done. So how many times the delivery have been done and how many times she is given the number of the birth. So that is what you call as the parity of the mother. Okay, so like irrespective of the outcome, whether it may be a term birth she given, whether it may be a preterm birth she given, or whether it may be a abortion she had, and whether it may be after birth living children are there. Okay, so all together we will call this one as in the parity. Okay, so please do remember, very important thing, right? So now comes to the GT-PAL calculation, right? So in the parity, current pregnancy is not considered. In the gravida, current pregnancy we will consider. Okay, so the woman is now currently pregnant. Okay, now woman is currently pregnant means one pregnancy is there. I will add one, and she had the two previous pregnancies. Okay, so two previous pregnancy means I will add two. Okay, so total G is the that is 3. Okay, so that's the G3. Then the term, how many term babies are there? One full term delivery is there. Okay, full term delivery is the 1. Okay, so I will write T1. Okay, and one miscarriage at the 8th week means one abortion have been happened. Okay, so I will write one abortion is there, and that is the baby is alive. So that is the one full term baby she have died, she have given birth. So that is the alive. Okay, so one living baby is there. Okay, so total she is pregnant 3 times. Among those, one given the good birth and living baby is there, one abortion happened, and one is currently she is pregnant. Okay, so total 3 time pregnancy, so it happened. Okay, so G3, then T1, P0, A1, L1. So where is the answer? G3, yes, G3, T1, T1, P0, P0, A1, A1, L1, L1. So this is your GT-PAL calculation, the very important for your upcoming exam. And here goes to the option A as a correct answer. Okay, so hope it is clear to every one of you. Yes, right. So here comes to the next, the complete explanation of the GT-PAL. The G stands here is the gravida. Okay, that is the total number of the pregnancy including the current also. Very important, right? The T stands is the term birth. Okay, the birth which happened after 37 week of the gestation, we call that one as in the term birth. Okay, so preterm birth means after the 20 week before the 36 week, means before 20 week means that is the abortion we will consider. Okay, after the 20 week before the 36 week means we will consider that means the preterm birth. Okay, so in the abortion we will consider that is the before 20 week, then like number of times she have went into the miscarriage. Okay, so that is in the loss of the pregnancy before the 4 week or the before the 20 week or the before the period of the viability. So that is the abortion. Okay, the living children is the number of the living children, how many are the currently children are living to her. So that is the list goes. Okay, so this is the GT-PAL, and how to calculate the GT-PAL, everything I have given in this particular question. So this is the fixed question for your exams, and the concept don't forget. Okay, so hope it is clear to every one of you, right? Here comes to the next question. A woman's last menstrual period was on the March 10, 2025. And what is her estimated date of the delivery? What is the estimated date of the delivery? Woman's last menstrual period is, that is the LMP was March 10, 2025. What is her estimated date of the delivery? What is her EDD? Yes, I want everybody's answer in the comment box. Fatapat do response, beta. A woman's last menstrual period was on March 10. Okay, so here comes to the question. That is the woman's last menstrual period was the March 10. Okay, 2025. So what is the estimated date of the delivery? I want everybody's answer in the comment box. Fatafat. Yes, fatafat. Do calculate the answer. I told to be ready with the pen and paper, because you will get the more calculation portion. Okay, and don't just go for the mind calculations for these things, because this is not in the time to take the risk. Beta, this is the real final exam. So you have to go for the more accurate answer. You know the answer and you are not choosing the correct answer means that is the crime. If you don't know, if you don't study the thing and you are making the mistakes, so that is okay. That is no problem. You know the thing and you are due to your negligence, like who will write, just we will do the mind calculation like this approach, which gets land into your one negative marks and it will brings you one negative marks also, and along with that one marks also will get less in the exam, so it will be a very much damage, right? So don't go for the mind calculation. Be ready with the pen and paper and do the things, okay? So that will be helpful, right? So in the EDD we have the basic rule, that is the Nagel's rule, right? So Nagel's rules, which includes the last menstrual period plus 9 months plus 7 days, okay? For this 7 days we will add the number of the days, and for the 9 months we will add the month, okay? So that will give you a correct answer, right? So here the last menstrual period was the 10th March 2025, okay? So here comes to the 9 month, we will add to the 10th March, okay? So that is the 10th means for the day I am adding the days, okay? So that is the 7 plus 10 is the 17, okay? So then the 9 months I will add to the March, okay? To the March I will add the 9 month, okay? So after March, yes, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, okay? 9 months I have added, right? Plus 7 days. So the 17th December is goes to the correct answer. 17th December. If it is crossing the January and if it is going to the next year means I would have written that one as the 2026. It is not crossing the January, okay? It is completed on the December only, okay? So it is not crossing the January means I will write the same year, that is the 2025. So 17 December 2025 goes to the correct answer, okay? So here is the very important December 17 2025 is the correct answer. Hope it is clear to every one of you. Yes. Yes, here comes to the next question. So which of the following is the shockable rhythm according to the American cardiac life support algorithm? Yes. So American Heart Association, it is given the American cardiac life support algorithm. According to that, which of the following is the shockable rhythm? Yes, option A is the systole. Option B is the ventricular fibrillation. Option C is the pulseless electrical activity, and option D is the sinus bradycardia. What is the correct answer? Beta, so you have to understand the two very important thing here is the shockable rhythm and the non-shockable rhythm, and what is the next possible best step in that particular question. It will repeatedly asked question in our Norcet exam, okay? So if we are having the systole and pulseless electrical activity, these both are the non-shockable. We can't give the shock here because in the pulseless electrical activity also there will be a like flat line only it will be, and in the systole also there will be a flat line it will be, okay? In the ventricular fibrillation it will be like abnormal, any kind of the lines we will get, right? So at least waves are there. So these waves I want to convert into the normal waves like this, right? So just I will give the shock on this wave and I will convert this to the normal wave, okay? If this is called as the shockable rhythm, this particular flat lines, if we are giving the shock means there is no use. First I will convert this flat line to the like at least a abnormal rhythm I have to convert. So after converting the flat line to the abnormal rhythm, then I will give the shock, so then it will comes to the normal rhythm, okay? So this is the concept, right? So whenever there is in the patient, it will comes with the shockable rhythms like ventricular fibrillation and the pulseless ventricular tachycardia. First thing what we have to do, so first thing we have to start the CPR, okay? So along with the CPR, the next best step is the defib. Use the defibrillator because these are the shockable rhythm. What are the two? That's the ventricular fibrillation and the ventricular tachycardia, that is the pulseless ventricular tachycardia. Similarly, in the systole and the pulseless electrical activity, so first thing what we have to do, first thing we will start the CPR, okay? So along with the CPR, the next best step is the injection epinephrine. Injection epinephrine, okay? So this is a very important questions you will get in your exams. The scenario will be created in front of you, okay? So patient is in a state of the pulseless electrical activity and unresponsive. Now the nursing officer have been started the CPR. What is the next best step of the management? So in the option A, they will give the defibrillator. Option B, they will give the cardio version. Option C, they will give the injection epinephrine, and option D, they will give the cardiac pacemaker. So our answer would be here. Yes, what is our correct answer here? The correct answer will be a very important. That is our yes. The next best step of the management in the pulseless electrical activity. Okay, the patient already, the nursing officer is giving the CPR. So the next best step of the management is the yes, injection epinephrine. Okay, so that's the correct answer, right? So the next one is the shockable rhythm, right? In the shockable rhythm, what happens? Already the nursing officer giving the very important. So what we can say, that is the CPR have been already started. Okay, so along with the CPR, what is the next best step of the management in case of the ventricular fibrillation and pulseless electrical activity? That is the defibrillator goes to the correct answer. Hope it is clear to every one of you, and I hope that today's session is very much clear and enjoyable to every one of you. And in the tomorrow session, we will cover the lots of the important thing. Okay, so I will wind up this session here only, right? In the tomorrow session, it will goes around at least 1.5 hour and 2 hours. Okay, so be ready for that one, right? So thank you so much for watching the class here, and here will be your assignment questions. So please do mention your assignment answers here. Okay, that is the indication of the GCS for the starting mechanical ventilation. Okay, indication of GCS score. Okay, so whether it may be a 8 or it may be a 9, whether it may be a 10. Okay, GCS score for mechanical ventilator. Okay, if GCS score is how much, so we can start the mechanical ventilator. Okay, and the next is the in the pulseless electrical activity. So already nurse is doing the CPR. Okay, what is the next best step of the management? Do mention. And in the asystole, already nurse is doing the CPR. What is the next best step of the management? Do mention. Okay, so and the patient is in a state of the pulseless ventricular tachycardia. Already nurse is doing the CPR. What is the next best step of the management? Okay, so this is our question number 1. This is the question number 2. This is the question number 3. This is the question number 4. So please try to do mention the answer in the comment box. Okay, so we will meet in the tomorrow session again. Tab tak ke liye Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you. Vande Mataram. Bye bye.